Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is Bear Fitness, and I'm your host, Laura Williamson. It's good to see you again. And if I've never seen you before, welcome. I'm happy to have you here. So let's get right into it. Today's topic is about travel and fitness. Fit travel, maybe? Does that work? I don't know. Okay, whatever. Let's just go with it. All right. So if you know me, you know that I am passionate about travel. Love to travel. Don't like to keep my feet on the ground very long if I can help it. But unfortunately, life jumps in sometimes and I can't always get up and go like I used to. So all that being said, I have quite a few clients who work with me who travel for various reasons. It might be for travel, it might be for pleasure. It honestly it ranges. But one question I seem to always get is, how do I stay on track when I travel? If you've made some progress and you want to maintain that progress, I know that a lot of you are pretty stumped about what to do and how to do it. More importantly, where do you even begin? So my job today is to help take some of the mystery out of keeping on track while you are away. Now, just a little bit about my own travels. I've been to Paris, I've been to India, I've been to China, I've been to Japan, I've been to a few different places. And one of my first trips to Europe, Paris was one of my very first trips. And admittedly, the cheese, the pastry, the baguettes and cheese, and I don't want to, I could keep talking, but we're going to talk about bread and cheese as we go during your travels too. So let's talk about it. What do you do? Where do you start? Today we're going to talk about food, how to manage that, and we're going to talk about your exercise, your activity, your workouts. How do you manage that when you're traveling? And some of you travel a lot. So I hope that today's program will actually help you. And if you have any questions, you know where to find me. You can always reach out to me so I can give you a hand. Before I give you any information today, I have to recommend that please make sure you're being advised by a medical professional with regards to diet. This is just advice, preference, and then a little bit of information I've kind of put together or gathered along the way to help you out, especially where I've worked with a few people. These are some solutions that I have found and they have found has worked for them. And then the other thing is just a gentle reminder that, I usually do a workout. So when I get done with this, it would be great if you would stick around and try the workout that goes along with the informational part of the show today. All right. So I'm happy to have you, but let's get it going. Let's start with food, right? That comes up first and foremost, because who doesn't go away on vacation and think, I'm on vacation, I'm gonna eat what I want, do what I want, I'm gonna relax, I'm not gonna worry about anything. And that's all fantastic. Nothing wrong with that. Live life and live it to the fullest. However, for those of you who, again, want to stay on track and don't want to negate all the progress that you've made up until your trip, here are some things to consider or to try and do while you are on your trip, whether it's for pleasure or whether it's for work. Now, let's start with food, fried food. Avoiding fried food. It's good, it's tasty, it smells great, and it's usually very tasty. Don't get me wrong, I like my fried food too, but everything in moderation. You know me, I'm always preaching moderation. I'm going to say that too. If you have a choice of foods to eat, if you can avoid a little bit of the fried food, I would highly, highly, highly recommend it. Try instead maybe grilled or baked food, which is actually nowadays it's pretty tasty. Just because it's not fried doesn't mean it will not taste good. Everything has herbs and spices now, and you'd be amazed at how good food can taste even if it's not fried. Let's think about Fresh fruit, you need that. Let's add in fresh fruit. Let's monitor your sugar intake. That's a big one. Monitor the sugar intake. Where does the sugar come in? The sugar can come in your desserts. The sugar can come in your drinks. But more importantly, you just want to keep that in mind. It can also come in your coffees, right? Because I don't know about you, I like my frou lattes too, but I try to treat myself to them once, maybe twice a week. Try to keep it at a minimum because, but again, we'll get to the drink part of everything. The next thing, some other options you could possibly try. I'm going to say chicken, grilled chicken, baked chicken, skinless chicken. That's another one. Breaded chicken, you want to moderate the breaded chicken too. The breaded chicken is not always the best choice to have. Definitely add in some seafood if you can have it. Seafood is always a good thing because again, these are sources of protein that are very, very valuable for helping you to maintain, keep the weight off, stay lean, and keep everything flowing the way that you want it to. Oh, and don't forget about your vegetables. Vegetables. But I keep saying it. I could sing a song about it. Vegetables, meat, protein. Well, what if you don't eat meat, right? And you are a vegetarian. Okay, there are so many other choices of things that you can eat that have protein in them. Salad, egg whites, maybe no egg whites. Excuse me, there are chickpeas. And then let's talk about grains. There's quinoa. There are a variety of things that you could possibly eat when you're on vacation. And what's wonderful now is when you travel, because so many people are becoming more health conscious, there are more options available to you. Ideally, you want less processed foods. That's always going to be a better choice. I'll own that. Another idea is when you go out to a restaurant, ask, do they have any options, any more health conscious options, leaner options? And so let's think about this. Let's play a little game, shall we? How can you make things a little more, not palatable, but easier on all the work that you have done? So let's say I say to you, you know what, don't worry about eating this way, that way. Maybe let's just change your portions. Let's cut your meal in half. So when you order your meal, cut it in half and only have half and take half with you. All right, that's an idea. And what about dessert? But I want to have my dessert when I go on vacation. I can't do anything. This isn't fun. I hear you. Share your dessert. Split it in half. Usually when I go out, I don't always have dessert, but if and when I do, I might have a few bites and I push it away. Or I share it with someone that I'm with, or if I'm out with a group of people, maybe, you and one other person will agree on a particular dessert and you share that dessert. Whomever your partner is, whoever your friend, whatever you're doing, maybe do it that way. Or even if you don't, again, same rule, cut it in half and keep going. The next thing is maybe let's not have the bread on the table. Remember we talked about baguettes earlier in Paris and the butter and the whole, which admittedly Paris is a difficult one because the food in Paris is absolutely extraordinary. In addition to that, the cheese is crazy. The cheese with the bread. And then I remember I stayed in a hotel and I was near a bakery, and every morning I get up and I could smell bread. It was awful in a good way. So just be mindful where you are. It's very, 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 very tempting. But we haven't even talked about activity, but we'll come back to that, okay? So the point is, I don't want you guys to suffer and feel like you can't enjoy your time. You should. Just, again, treat it like a game. What can I do to make a different decision, an option that might be a little bit better, so that later on when I have something that maybe is probably not the best choice for all the work that I'm doing, or for whatever your goals are, or what program you're on, or whatever have you, pay it forward. Okay, I did this over here. I made a choice here with the vegetables. I made a choice here with the lean protein to have this drink over here. You can kind of play with it in your mind that way. The other thing is starches. So if I'm being honest and transparent here, I don't love mashed potatoes. I didn't really grow up on them. But for me, I'm a texture person. I like crunchy, I like chewy. Mushy doesn't always work for me. Even when I eat yogurt, I put fruit in it, I put blueberries, things like that, just to give me a little bit of texture. So if you are not this person, you're just happy to have your sweet, you like your ice cream, you like these things, think of it as when you have your meal, maybe substitute the mashed potatoes for vegetables. Just an idea. And I say that because the starches, they leave they leave a little something behind with you. It's sometimes it's about how your food is also being prepared. That's going to determine how your body processes it. Okay? And I know with mashed potatoes, you have butter sometimes there's bacon, sometimes there's you have the cheese on top and chives, which is real yummy, I understand, but it adds up very quickly. That's the point. Okay? And then maybe a substitute would be sweet potatoes in addition to your vegetables. And then, yeah. And then the next thing I'm going to say, because I mentioned grains earlier, so I'm coming back to that. Let's try, instead of white rice, again, try vegetable, try a sweet potato, or here we go. There's brown rice, there's wild rice, there's quinoa, or even better, no rice at all. If you see a dish and mainly you notice that there's some rice attached to it, maybe avoid the rice altogether. Just get a different dish, okay? And that way you don't feel potentially hungry on the end if you think that could be a situation for you. And then again, I come back to what I said originally. Ask someone in the restaurant, ask the waiter or waitress, ask them what they would recommend. That might be a leaner choice for you, something that's, again, going to help you stay working on and within your goals, okay? But again, I understand you're trying to enjoy yourself, but after a while, it shouldn't really feel like work. It should eventually feel like, no, it's just part of my life, hence lifestyle change, right? Which we want to work on together. All right, now, I got to do it. Let's talk about drinks. Let's talk about alcohol. Now, I'll be the first person to say to you, I know that you are going to drink on vacation. And no, I'm not going to tell you, don't drink anything at all. Stop it. Leave the alcohol alone. I'm not going to do that because I live in the real world. So let's talk about it. What can you do? Water. Have lots and lots of water. Okay, there's that. And let's start with coffee, right? Because you get up in the morning, and when you're usually on vacation or when you're traveling for work, at some point, you're going to start your day with something. Most people start with coffee and or breakfast. I hate to say it, it's less likely when you're working that you're going to really start with breakfast. It's got to be something quick on the go, so it might be a coffee. It might be a latte. So if you're having coffee, I'm going to say, at this point, I have a low tolerance for dairy personally, so milk is hard for me. But there are so many skim milks out there that you can have. You can do that. Or now you have almond milk, you have coconut milk, you have soy milk. Now, the only thing with soy milk, and I got to throw this out there, it's very, 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 very processed. It is not my first choice. My recommendation for soy products is the purer the form, the better it's going to be. Less processing is a good thing. Okay? So I again would recommend the nut milks and all the other milks and oat milk if I'm going to recommend anything. And in my case, like I said, the dairy intolerance on my end, it's very easy for me to do almond milk or coconut milk. And sugar-free, by the way. Let me throw that out there, and they come in different flavors now, okay? Now the fun one. Alcoholic beverages. Let's talk about some drinks that are a little bit lower calorie if you're going to drink, and I know you are. Let's start with vodka sodas. Those are good. Some of you drink vodka straight. I know, been there. And you could add lime. Lime is something you can add, give it a little zest. White wine. Let's think in terms of ounces. So let's say 5-ounce pour. Usually I believe in restaurants it's a 6 or 8 ounce pour when you go. But if it's a really good glass of wine, I get it, 6 or 8, you're going to do that. And maybe mix it up, have your wine, have some water, have your wine, have some water, perhaps. And the next one is straight tequila. So I have a love-hate relationship with tequila, and that story I will not share with you today. That's probably a different show and a different topic, but straight tequila is not a bad thing. And when I say this isn't about me condoning alcoholic drinking and so on. This is me giving you options for when you are away and traveling, if you're trying to make choices and you know you're going to drink, which again, I know you are. This is meant to help you out. And let's think about light beers. That's another option, which is not a bad idea. Let's say gin and tonic, dry martinis, and old-fashioned rum and Coke. But rum and Diet Coke, just to be clear. All right, so keep in mind, pre-mixed drinks, and with pre-mixed drinks, you want to think about the added sugars. The sugars, the syrups, the concentrated juices that are going into those drinks. That's what you want to look out for. That's what's important when we're thinking about calories, when we're thinking about weight gain, undoing some of the things that we did earlier in the week. That's what you want to keep in mind. So, so when you're in Paris, like I've been to Paris, when you're in Paris and you're picking up your baguette and you're picking up your grated cheese and all that good stuff, just remember the cheese, even the cheese, we want low-fat cheese, okay? Now, next part, working out. I've gotten this a lot too. What do I do for a workout? And then I've also gotten, why would I work out when I'm on vacation? Well, here's the thing. I find when I'm on vacation, and I know that's me, that doesn't mean it's you. When I'm on vacation, I am well rested. I sleep a little better. I sleep more. I'm a little more relaxed, so I have a little more energy. And so I want to work out. Now, that doesn't mean you have to work out. That means that usually there are activities, there are things that you can do that will help you feel good, burn some calories, get some movement in. And that's fine too. But how do you decide to stick to your plan? What do? I'm going to say right off the bat, try to stick to your usual schedule of whatever your workout routine is. If you're 2 days a week, 3 days a week, try to find that same time if you have it, right? Because if you're someplace for a week, 5 days, do what you can do. Maybe even 2 weeks, a few months. Do what you can do, get it in, and then move on. You'll feel glad that you got it in. The other thing is, when you make the decision, definitely going to work out, get some activity in, pack your clothes. Or actually, don't even think about it. Just pack your clothes. Put your workout clothes in your suitcase. In my case, what I do is when I'm traveling sometimes, I wear the same sneakers on the plane that I'm going to wear to work out in, and it almost guarantees me that I'm actually going to work out when I get there because I have my gym shoes with me. So there's no reason why I can't work out. So pack your shoes or wear your shoes. Throw your gym clothes in the suitcase. How much space do they take up? They don't take up that much space, I don't think. Little pants, little shorts, t-shirt, or little bra top. Again, not a lot of space, right? Throw them in the bag and just go. You only need one outfit. You don't have to have two. If you need to, grab two, 1 or 2 things, and you're good to go. All right. And then the next thing, find out what's at your hotel or what's near your Airbnb or near the person that you're staying with. However you choose to stay in the location that you're going to, find out what's in your neighborhood, what's around you. Is there a gym in a hotel? Are there classes being offered at the hotel? Do they have trainers? Now, what if they don't have any of that? What do? Well, you have options. There are workout apps. There's me, I'm a trainer. We could do virtual, right? There are also videos online that you can just go. I also have videos online that you can just go and choose a workout and work out. And then the next best thing, okay, so what we have classes, virtual training, You can also ask your trainer, if you have one, to put a program together for you. I used to do this all the time. I'd have clients who say, I'm going to be gone for a month or two. I'm not going to be around, but I want to stay on track. Can you put something together for me? Sure, of course, I'll put something together for you. So you put a program together for them. You tell them how many days. You tell them exactly what you want them to do. And then leave them. Let them go. Let them go out into the wild and see what happens. And if you want to check in on them, or check in with your trainer, let them know how things are going. But then you have your routine for a little while, depending on how long you're going to be gone. The other thing is, in the hotel, see if there's equipment. See what they offer for amenities. I give you an example for amenities. Let's say a tennis court, a pickleball court. Can you imagine that now? I just experienced that. Pickleball, you can also walk. I've also experienced bicycles. You can go for a ride if you want to. I mean, there are just so many ways. And basketball, tennis, I'm just trying to remember off the top of my head. And then let's say you're a runner. So now there are apps that you can actually track, and you can actually see where you are in the neighborhood and put a path and a route together for your run. So give that all a try. I think there are so many options now to stay on track, and I think it's a fun way to get everything in. And again, I say it again, let's say you still want to stay on top of things. I have clients that do this too. They travel for work. They don't want to miss any time, but they know they're going to be gone for a while. So then they just do virtual sessions with me. It's an hour or 55 minutes. You get it done, it's out of the way, and you go on with the rest of your day. All right. So I like to think I hit what was most important: food choices, exercise, how to get a program if you don't have one. Yeah, I think I covered it. All right. So to recap, grilled chicken or grilled protein, let's see, vegetables, fresh fruit, lean and mean drinks with less syrup, foods that are less processed, and I want to say just balance. Have a great time. Oh, did I mention swimming? I forgot about swimming, right? You got to swim a little bit. Again, see, there's so much to do. And if you're one of those people, and I get this a lot too, I went away for a week. I couldn't tell you what I did, but I lost weight. Well, think about what you did while you were gone. You're probably a little more active than you were before. You did something a little bit different. And that's awesome. And less stress. Stress is everything. But we'll do a different show about stress. So I think for now, I think we're done. I think we're going to get to the workout next. So I'm going to let you go. It's good to see you. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, let me know. But stick around. Meet me back here, because I think I'm going to do a little workout now. All right. So remember, I'm here for you. Email me, text me, carrier pigeon. No. But you know how to find me. You can also find me on Instagram. You'll see all that information as I'm talking to you. You can find me almost anywhere at this point. And it's always awesome to see you. So I'm going to see you next time. And again, stick around for the workout. I'll see you soon. I'm your host, Laura.